Hello everyone, I am Dr. Sarfaraz Karim. Now we are going to discuss about the Porter 5 force model. Michael Porter has given this 5 force model, and this 5 force model is basically a corporate level strategy where a organization or company want to take the competitive advantage. So the Porter 5 force model is the analysis, and it's an important tool to understand what are the different forces that shape the competition in the external world for the company. So there are the various forces, there are the various factors, but Porter's combinedly these all factors into a 5 forces. And he's saying that if a company is ready to control these factors or ready to maintain these factors, these 5 forces, the company is going to be a successful. So that is the 5 forces are frequently used to measure. Time to time they are going to be measure these 5 forces. What is the intensity of these forces? How to make these forces lesser to more attractiveness to get the more reward from the competition or from the customers, and it will finally increase the profitability of the company. So Porter 5 force model is the analysis for the corporate level, for the external point of view. And what are those 5 forces? These are the 5 forces. If you can see it, first force is industry competitors. Means the competitors are there. It is not like that this is the first, second, third, fourth, but I'm just going through the most vital forces like industry competitors. Then substitute is there, threat of the substitute. Then you can say the potential entrants, threat of the new entrants. Then you can say the buyer, bargaining power of the buyer, and then supplier, bargaining power of the supplier. Basically, when we are talking about the environmental factors, these are also the environmental factors, external environmental factors at the micro level, because micro level sometimes they can be controllable by the company or sometimes it is uncontrollable. So we will see why Michael Porter is saying these are the 5 forces outside the organization which if a company can control or manage, it will give the long term benefit or competitive advantage for the company. So let us see one by one, like what are the competitors role, how we can make them relevant or irrelevant, what is their number, intensity, everything. The first force is industry competition or rivalry. Industry competition or rivalry, the basic meaning of rivalry means the company who is making the same type of product they are offering to the customer to satisfy the same type of need, like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, they are the competitors. Like Samsung, Apple, mobile, in case of mobile they are the competitors. Like Apple, or you can say the like Samsung, LG, for the consumer goods they are the competitors. P&G and Unilever, they are the competitors. So in the industry, how many numbers of competitors are there? Less number, more number, whether it is the only few competitors are there, high competitors are there, more number of competitors are there. What is the industry growth rate is there? Growth rate, if the growth rate is, chances are very high, so still the competitors or the competitors maybe make irrelevant for that one. Level of competition, very stiff competition, easy competition, or you have a very growth, or we are at very high position and competitors are very lesser than you. So what is the level of competition? Cutthroat competition is there, or the competition level is like this, everybody has their own fixed share, number of share. Exit barrier means, is it easy to exit outside of this business? Some businesses like automobile industry, it is not easy to come out, so here the competition is tough. Some businesses like the software industry, like some day to day or the food industry, it is easy to exit. Like the hotel industry, it is easy to, but some where the investment is very high, exit barrier is not easy. So competition is also very tough in that one. And sustainable competitive advantage through improvisation. It means when we understand what type of competition we have, how many number of competitors we are, what type of competition intensity is, on the basis of these things we have to make the policy. Whether we are going to acquire the competitors, if is it possible, whether we are going to make the merger and acquisition, or we can say have the joint venture, or we can have to fight with the competitors with the low prices. Different things we have to apply, different strategy as per the competitors nature we have to apply. So this is the first factor. Second factor is threat of substitute. First of all, understand what is the substitute. Substitute means those company who is not making the exact same number of or same type of product, but it may be the similar type of product, or this similar type of product can fulfill the same level of satisfaction or near to that one. Like suppose if some company is making tea, so those all company who's making tea is the competitors, but substitute is the coffee. Tea and coffee is a substitute. Juice and cold drink can be the substitute. Even mobile phone, or you can say as the or the smartphone or the laptop, it may be the substitute, because all the things what we are doing through the laptop, through the internet of that one, they can we can also do on the smartphone. So they can be the substitute. Desktop and laptop, substitute. Not the same product, but they are offering the same type of benefit for that one. So here we have to see what tendency is there towards the substitute of our buyer, whether our buyer is totally loyal to us and only going with the same type of product, or they can also free, or they are also what you call as the easily move towards their substitute. If it is not available, they can go to different one. Buyer switching cost, also looking whether the switching cost is very low or high, means shifting from work they have to wait for more time, they have to pay more, they have to run for that one, if they have to pay like that one, so they are generally not switching for that one. Ability of the substitute, whether it is easily available, it is also available the same places where your product is available. So these all things we have to see, especially these type of threats of substitutes are belonging to the FMCG product, daily use product, fast moving consumer goods product, mobile services of that one, like tablets and mobile phones substitute to each other. Like this with threats of substitute is. Next one is new entrant. New entrant means those company who are new to the market, but they are also offering the same type of product which you are offering. They may be small today, but they can be the competitors for tomorrow. So how much is their potential, we have to keep eye on that one. Also we have to see what is the entry barrier. If the entry barrier is tough, so this type of competition is less. But if the entry barrier is easy, patent right or some other policies are nominal and easy to enter, so these type of new entrants are always being threats, especially the threats for the future. If the product of new entrants are good, maybe they are not very much famous in today, but if the people are looking for the some other substitute or some other alternative in a lesser price, they may go with this one. One of the best example is YouTube. At the beginning, they have started at the unknown company. People are, but when the Google realize that they will become their competitors in the future, they purchase it because they have the potential to take your customer in the future. So like this one, they are the future threats. So new entrants, their potential, their policy, their product, their future threats, how is it all, we have to keep the eye on all these things. Then bargaining power of supplier who are providing us the raw materials for our operational goods, for our completion of the goods. So whether the supplier has the bargaining power, or whether the company has the bargaining power, who has the more bargaining power. Suppose if the more supplier is available for our raw materials requirement. So we have the bargaining power more than the supplier. We can switch to the other supplier if more options are there, if easily available options are there, if switching cost of the supplier is less, if same type of product is available or same type of raw materials is provided by many. So here the bargaining power of supplier are less than the bargaining power of company. But if the things are reversed, like very few suppliers are there, a specialized supplier is only one and two, or if there is a groupism between them, like that they are not going to take another supplier company. So in that case bargaining power of supplier is high. Or sometimes when there is only one supplier and you don't have any other option, so again the bargaining power of supplier is high. Forward integration is written over here. Forward integration means we can buy, if we have the potential, we can start our own supply unit, or we can buy some small supplier, so that we cannot depend upon the supplier of our raw materials. So that is the bargaining power of supplier. It can be the high or it can be the low. Finally, bargaining power of buyer. Bargaining power of buyer also depend upon the how many, what is your level in the mind of customer, whether there is a competition or whether there is a buyer have the more option to choose. If the buyer have the more option to choose, if the switching cost is low, if the buyer is always looking for the alternative, or if the buyer is have the what you call as the information available, or looking always looking for the new things, always looking for the experiment, here the bargaining power of the buyer is high. But suppose buyer doesn't have more option, buyer doesn't, high switching cost is there, or you can say the buyer is loyal to your company, or buyer is very much purchasing sensitive towards one particular brand. In that case bargaining power of company is more rather than the buyer. So Porter is saying that, Michael Porter is saying, these are the five different forces, external forces, which a company has to take care to get the competitive advantage for the long term benefit. What are those? Competitors, their intensity, their total number, their level of competition, their length of market, like this one. Then the what you call as the new entrants, substitute, bargaining power of supplier, and bargaining power of buyer. So these are the five forces.